music author, Eileen M. Berry. To be perfect, Corey opened his piano book and sighed. Only 3 more days until he would play his song in church. He stared at the page and then down at the keyboard. Carefully, he placed his fingers on the keys and played the first 6 notes. Holy, holy, holy. He thought of the words as he played. Then he stopped and looked out the window. Mom came in and stood by the piano. "Don't stop. It sounds nice," she said with a smile. "Sunday's the big day, isn't it?" Corey nodded without looking up. Mom kept watching him. "What's the matter, Corey?" she asked. "I don't think I want to play, Mom," he said. "Can you call Mrs. Howard and tell her I can't do it?" "But your song sounds really good," said Mom. "You've worked hard on it. Why don't you want to play?" Corey gazed down at his hands in his lap. "Last night I dreamed I was playing in church," he said. "I made a lot of mistakes. People were laughing at me. But, Corey, that was just bad dream," said Mom. "You don't need to let that scare you. But what if it really happens? I don't want to make any mistakes. I want my song to be perfect." Mom sat down beside him on the piano bench. She was silent for a moment. Corey stared at the back and white notes on the page until they looked blurry. He blinked and quickly wiped his hand across his eyes. Suddenly, Mom stood up. "I'll be right back," she said. "I'm going to get something." To give my best, Mom came back with a card in her hand. "Do you remember this?" she asked. She handed the card to Corey. Corey laughed. "Did I draw this?" Mom smiled. "When you were only 3, she said. You gave it to me for Mother's Day." "What is this a picture of?" "It just looks like a big bunch of scribbles." "You said it was a picture of me working in my garden," said Mom. She laughed with him this time. Corey put the card up on the piano. "It's a really bad drawing," he said. You kept it all this time. All this time, said Mom. It was special to me because you made it for me. Corey was quiet for a moment. What does all this have to do with my song? Then Mom said, are you playing your song for the people at church or for the Lord? Corey thought hard. Well, for the Lord, he said at last. Then the Lord will look at your song way I look at this card, said Mom. I look at it and think about a boy that I love. I think about a boy who wanted to give me something he made just for me. Mom smiled. But if I make a mistake, other people besides God will hear, said Corey. They might, said Mom. You should practice well and try very hard not to make a mistake. But even if you do, God will still be pleased. Corey sat up taller on the bench. God sees into your heart, Mom said. He sees the best that you are giving him with your heart. Mom patted Corey on the arm and stood up. I'd better let you practice a little more, she said. She went to put the card away. Corey turned back to his music. He looked at the words, Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty. All thy works shall praise thy name in the earth and the sky and sea. Holy, 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 merciful and mighty, God in three persons, blessed Trinity. Then he began to play the song just for the Lord to hear.